Okay, so hey there guys. So today's video is going to be a product specific no buy. I can never say that word. I'm sorry if I say it wrong. Specific. I hope that's right. My boyfriend makes fun of me all the time about saying it wrong, and I literally just stumbled on saying my boyfriend. So that's where we're at today. So I'm going to basically explain the reasons why I am going to be going on a product specific no buy. I'm going to show you guys the products that I allowed myself to get. They haven't come in yet, but I'm going to say why I got them, and then I'll go into detail on what I'm not going to be buying, what I've been really good about not buying. I kind of wanted to do an update on like my spending habits slash trying to go on a no buy for a little while, because I'm kind of overwhelming myself with makeup the past couple of months. I've tried over 8 eyeshadow palettes this year. I tried over 13 last year. That's 20 new palettes to my collection, even though I did declutter around 18 the past year and a half, which is more than I ever thought I would get rid of. I'm still feeling overwhelmed by keep on introducing new brands to my collection, but at the same time, I'd rather do that than have all of these palettes or older palettes that I've gotten a ton of use out of that I don't really like or care about anymore, to be honest, and they're just sitting there collecting dust, and I've used the crap out of them, and I just realized I'm not in love with them. Why not sell them? So I'm going to tell you guys what stuff I did just pick up. If you checked out my last video, I did just say that I picked up 2 more palettes this past month. I'll recap for you really quickly which 2 palettes those were. But if you want to hear more of my details about why I picked up certain palettes, you can go check out my last video. So let me show you guys. So as you guys know, the brand that I have fallen head over heels for this past year is Give Me Glow. And I was kind of... excuse me. I was kind of really interested in getting another palette from this brand because I was just blown away by the quality of the Vintage Rose palette. I love it. I love their highlighters. I'm actually wearing Halo today, and I can't get over how amazing their highlights are that I really wanted to pick up another palette. So I allowed myself to pick up the Give Me Glow Extra Spicy palette. Like I said, there's 3 shimmers in here and 6 mattes. I think that this is going to be a beautiful palette for summer looks for me. I'm really into the yellow right now, as you can tell. I'm wearing a yellow look today, and I did a yellow look earlier this week on my live. I just really enjoy these types of colors and color story, and the quality of their shadows is just flipping amazing. So I decided to pick that palette up. It hasn't shipped yet, so I'm not too worried about being overwhelmed on when I can use it, because I don't think it's going to get to me till probably late next week. But the shipping label just got created, so it's going to be a couple of, it's probably going to be at least a week. And then I did say I was going to pick this palette up in the summertime, and everyone keeps on telling me to pick up a palette from this brand, so I decided to finally bite the bullet and pick up a Glam Light palette. So I've always been interested in trying at least one of the pizza palettes, and they have 3 different types of pizza palettes. They have the big wheel of the pizza pie palette, and then they have like pizza slice palettes, and they have 2 of them. They have one that's like this, which is pink, and then they have another one which is like a jalapeno themed one, which is green. So they were having a 20% off sale this past weekend. I probably should have waited to pick this one up in July, because what I was trying to do now is do a 1 palette per month kind of thing. But I figured if I have the money now, because again, I'm worried about whether or not the benefits are going to be extended past July for the $600 benefits. So I'm like, if I have the money now, I might as well get what I want and then kind of just slow down buying makeup in July. So this is mostly why I'm doing this video, because I want to save as much money as I can in July because we don't know if the benefits are going to be extended or not. So, it's just all up in the air right now. Most likely they will be. It's just like, you know, by the time they figure out something, it'll be another like couple weeks by the time that goes into effect. So anyway, so yeah, I can't wait to play with this palette either. So I did pick up that as well. And then I also did pick up just 3 things from Kaleidos. I was kind of more interested in trying more things from the brand because I was so impressed with the highlighter and the eyeshadow palette that I decided to pick up. Let me just, you know what? Let's just do that. I probably should have just picked these up together. I don't know why it's not pictured together. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so I decided to pick up these new Lo-Fi Duo blushers from Kaleidos, and they have a peach duo, and they also have a pink duo, like a rose-colored duo. So this is the rose-colored one, and then the peach one looks like this. And they look like really pretty, you know, summertime colors. I haven't really picked up a blush since my last ColourPop order, I believe. So I've been on a no-buy for blushes for about, I think like 2 months now. Because in my last haul, I didn't pick up any blushes. And the haul before that, I believe the only blushes I picked up, like I said, was the Wet n Wild one. 2 from ColourPop, and I think that was it. So I decided to pick up these blush duos since I haven't really added new blushes to my collection in a while because I've been really overwhelmed with blushes. So I was like, I really don't need more. So I think, let me just check really quick. Sorry. I didn't list the, oh my god, okay. I think I just got Give Me Glow in this haul. I don't think I got that many blushes. Yeah, I think it's been a while. I think it's been at least a month or so since I picked up blushes. So I was like, I kind of wanted to add a couple new ones to my collection. Okay, so I got those, and then I also got another one of their highlighters because I was so impressed with the highlighter that I got from them that I really wanted to try another one, and they just came out with a couple of new shades for their new collection. So I decided to get the peach one, which is called Diamond Dasher, and that's the only other thing that I got in the order. So I'm really excited to try this as well. It looks really, really beautiful. It has like this peach sparkly goodness to it, and it looks stunning, and I fell in love with the shade that I have. What is the shade called? I don't know why it's leaving me right now. It's the one in the yellow packaging. Solar Sailor. I love that highlighter. It's so beautiful, and that's what I wore in my last live. When I did a yellow look, I used that highlight, and it's stunning. So that's all that I got from Kaleidos. And then the last things that I decided to order is that I haven't gotten anything from ColourPop since April, I believe. So I haven't ordered anything from them in like 2 months because, again, their website was shut down for a couple of months, but they did recently start back up again like 2 weeks ago, but they did just launch their newest collection finally like last week. They haven't launched anything new since they reopened for like 2 weeks or so, and then they released the tie-dye collection, but they also announced a couple, I didn't get anything from the tie-dye collection. I just wasn't interested. I was interested in the Miss Bliss palette, but I talked myself out of that one because I wanted to get the products from the Sailor Moon restock because this is the first time they've restocked it since they restocked it on Ulta. Or actually, they haven't restocked it on Ulta. That was the only time that it was restocked because they had to shut down. So everything sold out the first time that the collection launched, and then it got launched in Ulta, but I missed out on getting the blushes on Ulta because I didn't know what time they were launching, and then by the time I saw them, I think that they were already sold out. I don't really remember But I think I wasn't getting free shipping either, so I was like, yeah, I don't really need them. But I got them this time around. But the blushes sold out in literally minutes. So I wanted to get stuff for me, and I also wanted to get stuff for my best friend. I'm going to surprise her with the stuff that I got for her. I'm not going to go over those because that's stuff for her, not for me. But I was able to snag the blushes for myself this time around. So I decided to get the Cat's Eye blush, which is this really beautiful, like, mid-tone peachy shade. It's kind of a really unique shade. That's the picture of both of them, so I'll just show you guys both of them. So there's like a pinkier blush, like a dusty pink, and then there's like a really interesting, like, orangey pinky blush. I think that's going to be such a stunning shade. So I'm really excited to get both of them. So the orange one is called Cat's Eye. It's not an orange. It's like, it says it's a pearlized rosy pink with silver pinpoints. So that's pretty interesting. And then the pink one, you already saw the color, and it's called From the Moon. And then I also got one of the lip duos for myself because I was like, you know, they look really pretty. So I also got the Daylight lip duo. And then for Glam Light, I did order a couple of their lippies as well. But after this, I'm going to go on a no-buy for lipsticks. So let's talk about why I'm going on a no-buy and what products basically in my collection I'm going to be staying away from and not purchasing. So first off, I want to tell you guys the one category that I have stayed away from this year, that I've literally not purchased anything from, is bronzers. I really have been trying to concentrate on using up or panning the bronzers in my collection. There honestly hasn't really been any new bronzers out there that I've really wanted to try this year. Every time I see a new launch of a bronzer, I'm just like, I don't really need it. And honestly, my go-tos have been my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, the Fenty Beauty Into Sun, and my Milani Dolce Bronzer. Those are honestly really the only three bronzers I've been using for the past month or two. Back in like February or March, I was using the Private Party Bronzer from ColourPop, and then I was using my Marc Jacobs Insta Bronzer, or Insta Filter, because I'm trying to use this up. But other than that, I have not touched any other bronzers in my collection, and I'm not interested in picking up any new ones. So bronzers have been really easy for me to stay away from and not purchase any new ones. But if you guys have any suggestions on your favorite bronzers, please leave them below. I have about 7 or 8 in my collection, and honestly, I feel like I don't need any more. I have Anastasia's Rosewood. I do use that when I do like more full coverage looks, like for my lives and stuff, but I don't use that on a regular basis. But I do use them in my, that's like the only other bronzer that I use if I do like a full coverage look in my lives. So been really easy to stay away from that. Also, primers. Now with primers, I really only allowed myself to pick up one new one this year, which is the Catrice Fresh It Up primer. I honestly only have about a handful of primers in my collection. I think I only have about 5, and most of them are drugstore primers. I am just not the type of person that's going to spend $40 on a primer anymore. I haven't done that in like probably a year or two. And you can literally find drugstore dupes for some of these $40 primers. So I find that it makes much more sense that this is a dupe for the Smashbox Primerizer, that I wasn't going to drop $40 on that. I'd much rather drop $40 on a new foundation. And I bought the dupe, and this works just as well. I mean, I've never tried the Smashbox Primerizer, but this is an amazing primer. And the only reason why I have the Fenty Beauty Soft Matte Pro Filter Primer in my collection is because my sister gave this to me. My sister gave me this primer because we cleaned out her city apartment, and she was giving me makeup that obviously she didn't take with her and she couldn't use. I think the only thing that she brought with her was foundation and concealer, honestly. But my mom bought this for her like 2 years ago or something. Not 2 years ago, I think last summer. I'm not really sure if it was last summer or like last spring. It's not that old, but I love this primer, and I'm really glad I was able to try it because of her. But unless it's not given to me, I'm not going to go and spend $40 on a high-end primer. So that's it for primers. And then for prep spray, the only new one I got was the Fix Plus Cucumber. I usually use the NYX Primer Spray. It's not in front of me right now, but that's the only one I buy because it's super cheap and it basically does the same thing that this does, or like the Smashbox Primer Water. I've been a user of the NYX Primer Spray for a long time now, but I used up the sample size of this with a free gift with purchase on Ulta, because I think I bought like a couple of MAC products like a couple of months back, I think like January or February, and I fell in love with this scent because I got the cucumber sample that I really wanted the full size. So that's the only other primer products that I've purchased this year. And then for setting sprays, I'm not that type of person that's going to have a million setting sprays in my collection. I literally only have 3, and that is too many for me. I usually only have 2. The one that I usually always have is the Milani Make It Last setting spray, but I haven't really used that one pretty much at all since the whole quarantine started because I don't really need it since my makeup doesn't really stay intact all day unless I'm filming a video or unless I'm doing a live. I don't really need a long-lasting setting spray. And then the other spray that I use is the Flower Beauty Dewy spray, and I'm still trying to use that up. That spray lasts a while. The only one that I got this year is the Fenty Beauty Baby What It Do spray, and I got this back during the spring sale, so I think it's lasted me almost 2 months, but this baby is almost done. As you can see, I've used it a ton, and this is what I've been using every time to set my makeup because I've just been letting it sit here next to my prep spray, and that's the only new setting spray that I got this year. So that is it for like prepping and bronzers and stuff like that. Now let's get into the categories that it's kind of been a little bit more difficult for me to stay away from. I think let's go into highlighters, because with highlighters I haven't really added too many new ones to my collection this year. I think I've only added about maybe like 7 or 8 because I fell in love with the Give Me Glow ones. So I got like 3 of those. I got one of the Kaleidos ones, and I got that really big one from ColourPop. I can't really remember off the top of my head other ones I've actually gotten. I've actually been doing kind of good with highlighters, and I haven't purchased any new ones since the ones from Leleposh. I think like back in May. So I actually have been on a no-buy for highlights for a month now. And the newest one that I just got was the Kaleidos one. And then I think that the Kaleidos Blush Duos is, with the duo, one of the shades is a shimmery shade, which I think you can use as like a dual purpose product, which is a highlighter and a blush topper. They are supposed to be blush toppers, but I think that they might be light enough for me to use as highlights too. But other than that, I've been pretty much staying away from getting new highlights. There hasn't really been any ones that I've been too interested in picking up, other than Give Me Glow. If Give Me Glow comes out with another pressed highlighter, I'm going to get it because I love their highlighters so much. Like, honestly, I want to collect all the pressed highlighters, but I probably should have ordered them with my last order, but I just didn't see the need to get them. But I kind of regret not getting their loose highlighter when I ordered the extra spicy palette because I wanted to get more of their liquid lipsticks. But I was like, you know what? I don't really need them because when am I going to be wearing a liquid lipstick anytime soon? The only liquid lipstick I allowed myself to pick up this year is the Give Me Glow one because I really wanted to try their formula. So, with highlighters, it really has been kind of easy for me to stay away from highlights. So the only new one I really got was the Kaleidos one. And then let's move on to blushes. With blushes, again, I've been kind of getting here and there. I haven't been getting too many. I did just pick up quite a few though. But after that, I am not getting any more blushes for a while unless they restock the Mulan collection on ColourPop. Because I tried to get the blush and the lipstick, and I think the lip gloss back in, I don't know why it froze, but I got the blush and the lipstick and the highlight back in like March before they shut down, because literally The Mulan collection launched for ColourPop literally the day before they shut down. So, like, most of the items sold out, and then they literally put a statement out like a day later saying, sorry guys, your orders are going to be delayed. And everybody was like, oh great, of course, right after you launched the Mulan collection, people weren't getting them until like 2 months later. So I just decided to cancel it. I'm like, I'd much rather get my money back, because this was around the time where we weren't really sure when we were getting the unemployment benefits or not, because a lot of people were waiting to get approval, and a lot of people were waiting to see when the $600 benefits were going to start. And basically I got them like 2 weeks later, but I was unsure because I was nervous because I wasn't working at the time, because my job had shut down like that same week. So I decided to cancel it. But if they do restock them, I am going to get the blush and the lipstick. And I might get an empty eyeshadow palette for myself, but that is it. Those are the only other things I'm allowing for myself, just because that's a restock that I wasn't able to get for like a few months. So I am going to get one of the blushes from that. But other than that, I'm not getting any more blushes. I got the Kaleidos ones and the ColourPop Sailor Moon ones, and those are the only ones I really wanted, and now I'm good. And I did pick up 2 other ColourPop blushes this past year with the Celestial blush, because I kind of really wanted the eyeshadow palette, but I've been trying to skip over ColourPop palettes every time they release them. Like, the only other new collection they came out with besides the tie-dye collection was the Celestial collection, but I allowed myself only the blush and the lip gloss from that. And speaking of glosses and lipsticks, we'll get into those in a minute. But as far as other blushes go, those are the only other ones I'm allowing myself to get, and that is it, because I really want something from the Mulan collection, because hello, it's Disney. So I talked myself out of getting the eyeshadow palette, but I really want the blush and the lipstick, because I love the Luxe lipsticks. Speaking of lipsticks, let's move on to lipsticks, because I did allow myself to get the 2 liquid lipsticks from Glamlight and the lip gloss, because I really wanted to try their lip products, and also because I did want the free shipping. But just because I spent over $50, after I got the 20% off, there wasn't any free shipping, which was kind of annoying. I'm like, then what's the point? It's still gonna boost your sales and make us pay for shipping. But honestly, I don't really mind paying for shipping right now, because I'd rather pay shipping for the indie brands that are amazing. So it doesn't really bother me right now. So for lipsticks, I did end up getting the Sailor Moon duo, and I got the lipsticks from Glamlight. But other than the ColourPop Mulan lipstick, I'm done buying lipsticks this year for a little while, because I did get the Lime Crime Satin lipsticks a couple of weeks back. I got the House Laboratories lip crayon because I really wanted to try her lipstick formula. And then I have allowed myself quite a few glosses this past year. Oh my god, this mascara got literally everywhere. It's kind of annoying me. We will get into mascara in a minute, but it got all around the bottle. Oh, thank god I have makeup wipes sitting in front of me. Sorry about that. It's getting like all over my hands. It's driving me crazy. Let me wipe it off with a makeup wipe, because I literally just opened this sample that my mom got, because she ordered something from Chanel, because she uses the Chanel brow pencil, and it came with one of my favorite mascaras, which is the Chanel. I think this is like my 3rd sample of this, because she always gets it every time she orders the mascara, and they always would give us free samples every time we would buy Chanel at Bloomingdale's. Sorry, this mascara is driving me nuts. Okay. So as far as lip glosses go, I was on a no-buy for lip glosses for a couple of months, and then I got probably too many this past year. I've gotten like 5 or 6, and honestly, like, I'm done buying lip glosses now. Even though I just got the ColourPop lip gloss in the duo, and I also got the gloss from Glamlight, I'm like, that's it. I don't need any more glosses this year. I got the Sugar Lip Shop ones, and those are really, really good. I'm actually wearing hemp oil over this one, and this is my favorite one so far. It's really beautiful, and they're just so easy to apply over a lip gloss, because they're over a lipstick, since they're mostly clear. But back to lipsticks, I got the satin lipsticks and the House Laboratories one, and I also got the liquid lipstick from Give Me Glow, and I was like, I really don't need any new lipsticks right now, because besides the ones I got from Glamlight and ColourPop, because anytime I go somewhere, I have to wear a mask now. So that's why I have still been wearing eye makeup, but I literally have to wipe my lipstick off every time I go somewhere. I mean, it's different if I film a video, but that's the only time I really keep it on. So lip glosses are different because I usually throw it on at night when I'm leaving his house because my lips get dry after wiping it off. So I usually put a gloss on. Sorry, my stupid computer is not charging properly. So for lip glosses, I'm pretty much done with those. I mean, the glosses, again, I usually wear more often now, but I really don't need any more. So I allowed myself the ColourPop Luxe Gloss with the Celestial collection because everybody was raving about those, and I don't think those are as good as their... I actually don't think they have had good lip glosses since their original ones, because the newer ones with the brush applicator feel a little bit heavier on the lips. And then the same thing with the Luxe Gloss, it's not that great. It's like a little bit sticky. It's good, but I still like the Fenty glosses more, and even the Sugar Lips Shop ones more. And the Pat McGrath one was actually pretty good, so I'm glad that I got that one too. But again, that's like the only high-end lip gloss I allowed myself this year. I'm sorry that the light flickered. So we only have a few categories left. Let's go to eyeliner and mascara. For eyeliners, honestly, has been the only other thing I really haven't picked up this year. The only ones that I got, well, actually I did get a NYX black liner and also a, sorry, I'm just looking to see if my boyfriend texted me. I got the black liner from NYX, and I also replaced my Maybelline Skinny liners a couple of months back, but I haven't gotten any new waterline liners since those, because those are really the only ones that I use, and I decluttered all of my old ColourPop ones, and then I also got the L'Oreal Infallible Nude Liner, because unfortunately they canceled my MAC Nude Liner, which was my favorite. I'm just thinking about the other liners that I got. And then for like the NYX ones, I got the liquid liner and I got the black liner because I really wanted to try a new black liner from them. Because I haven't had a black liner since like last year, because I stopped using liners except for on my waterline, because honestly I feel like it covers up the color too much for me. And I really don't have the patience to apply liner anymore. And honestly, there's really no point. If I do like mostly day looks now, I'm not going to spend the time to put liner on. It's been kind of easy not buying liners this year. I do kind of want to potentially pick up some colorful ones though at some point. But every time I want to pick them up on ColourPop, they're always sold out. So if you guys have any suggestions on colored liners that I should try, please let me know. I know that Anya suggested the unicorn liners to me, I think they were. And I think Debbie said that the Kiko ones are good, and I know that she loves the ColourPop ones, but I'm still waiting for them to come back in stock. So liners have been pretty easy for me to stay away from. And then same thing with mascaras. I have tried a couple of new mascaras this year, but I did get rid of a lot because they were all old, so I had to go and replace them. So I got the CoverGirl one, the L'Oreal, the Fenty, the Anastasia one. The Fenty and the Anastasia mascaras are the only two high-end mascaras I picked up this year. Honestly, I wasn't really interested in any other ones. And if I want to get mascara, I'm just going to pick them up from the drugstore. And then I got my beloved Wet n Wild Mega Length one, which I love. And then basically if I want to pick up a new mascara, I'll get it from the drugstore. But I haven't picked up a new mascara since the Rimmel Scandal Eyes one, and I got that one because Tattooed Mama said that that was a dupe for the Thrive one. But I definitely like the Thrive one more. I don't think the Rimmel one is as good. It kind of flakes, and especially when you're setting your face, I have to remember to put that on before I set my face. But I don't think that mascara is as good as the Thrive one. I kind of miss that one in my collection, so I might repurchase it at some point. And even though I used up the powder, the setting powder, which I've also not really picked up any new setting powders since the Maybelline Fit Me one. And I believe that was back in like January or February. But I haven't used that one as much because I used up the Thrive one and the Charlotte Tilbury one. And then I'm working on using up the ColourPop one. And I pretty much use this one every day. And I'm almost done with this one. Then I'm going to allow myself to use the Maybelline one for a while. But I only really have like 2 or 3 loose powders in my collection. And then same thing with pressed powders. The only new powder I picked up this year was the Flower Beauty Light Illusion. And I wanted to use up my Wet n Wild powder before I got this. But since this was a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury one, and basically the Charlotte Tilbury one and the Wet n Wild one were the only 2 ones I was using. Until I got this one, until I used up the Charlotte one. I love this and I've used this every single day, so I don't regret getting this at all because this has become a staple in my collection. And basically the only other 2 I have is the Maybelline Fit Me and the Wet n Wild one. So with powders, again, hasn't really been too hard for me to pick up, to stay away from. I basically pick up a new one like every few months, like every 4 or 5 months. So the last time I picked those up, I believe I picked this one up back in like February or March. So it's been like 3 months at least since I picked up a new one. So I've done pretty good in that category as well. And then the last 2 product categories are foundations and concealers, and then we'll get into eyeshadow palettes. So with foundations, I did pick up a couple of new ones this year, but I haven't picked up a new foundation since the ColourPop Tinted Moisturizer. I did get the Bite Beauty foundation and also the Beauty Bakery one. I kind of regretted getting the Beauty Bakery one because I don't think it's as good. But I actually really, really liked when I mixed it with the Fenty Beauty one. I think I got the Fenty Beauty one back in like December or January. So that was before everything shut down. And that one I can mix with the Beauty Baker and I really enjoy it that way. But honestly, I haven't picked up any new foundations because there really hasn't been a point for me to pick up a new foundation. And plus, I really want to use up more foundations in my collection before I pick up any new ones. Like I said, I picked up at least 3 or 4 this year, but other than that, I'm good. I really haven't been interested in picking up any other new ones except for the Wet n Wild Dewy foundation, but I really want to use up other foundations in my collection first. So I'm hoping to use up more of those that I have in my collection. I've also decluttered a bunch of foundations because they either went bad, the color didn't work for me, or they've been in my collection way too long that I needed to get rid of them. So, and I feel like that's a waste of money because I used to be really good at using up foundations. And I also haven't repurchased my Lancome one because I'd rather use up the Anastasia one first. So there's a lot of foundations that I enjoy in my collection that I really don't need a new one right now. But the Bite Beauty one is great. I love using that on a day-to-day basis. And then the same thing with the ColourPop Tinted Moisturizer. I don't regret picking up either of those because those are day-to-day foundations that I love wearing right now. But the Beauty Bakery one, I kind of regret getting since I can't really wear it too often right now. Basically, I took it to Connecticut in March, the last time I saw my best friend, and then since then, I've only used it in videos, and I've only used it like a handful of times since then, like probably like 3 or 4 times. So with foundations, I've been doing pretty good at not getting any new ones, and then the same thing with concealers. I've probably done even better because the only new concealer I picked up was the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and I have not picked up a new concealer since then. And I think that was, again, back in like January or February. So I've been on a no-buy for concealers for about 4 months now. And it's really easy for me to use up concealers. So I'd rather use up the ones that I have in my collection. And honestly, there really hasn't been any other concealers I've been interested in besides the Beauty Bakery one. But it's always sold out. And I should have gotten it back when I got the foundation. I don't know why I didn't. But the shades that I want, like the lighter shades, they're always sold out. So... and I kind of wanted to get it along with the bronzer, blush, and highlight palette that they just came out with because they are having a 30% off sale today. But I decided not to because they don't have the concealer, and that's the only other thing that I wanted. So I'm like, I'm good. And I feel like those blush, bronzer, and highlights are a little bit too dark for me to use. So I think I'm not going to get anything from them for a while until they restock the concealer. I might get that at some point. But again, I don't really need it. I'd rather use up the ones in my collection. And then we have eyeshadow palettes, and that's pretty much it. So as far as eyeshadow palettes go, it's been really hard for me to not pick up new ones this year. I did really good back in January, where January was literally the month that I was on a strict no buy and didn't get anything new unless it was something I needed to replace. And I was doing really good in January, and then February the same thing. And then Marley gifted me the Storybook palette, and that was the only new palette I allowed for myself. But then I also got the Give Me Glow, and then I fell in love with their formula. Then I'm just like kind of going on a landslide of getting new palettes every month, and I just really, really need to slow down. So I did just get the Give Me Glow and the Glam Light, but I really want to slow down with eyeshadow palettes. But again, at the same time, it is making me really happy to get new palettes during this time because it's been making me happy. So I'm still going to slow down with them, but it doesn't mean I'm going to stop buying eyeshadow palettes because they're my favorite thing to buy. And it's been kind of hard for me to not get new eyeshadow palettes. With primers, the same thing. I only have the Milani primer. I should have bought the Smashbox primer back during the sale, but for some reason I forgot. That might be the only other product that I pick up for now. But for now, I'm going to go on a no-buy for eyeshadow palettes. Doesn't mean I'm not going to get new ones next month. But since I just got 2 new ones and I wanted to enjoy my collection this past month and I kind of failed. I was going to be on a no-buy this month, and then the only products I was going to get was the ColourPop blushes and the Kaleidos, but I kind of failed. And then same thing with brow products. If you guys have any brow gels to recommend, please let me know, because I kind of don't want to get the Anastasia brow gel anymore. And the L'Oreal one is good, but I feel like it dries out so quickly. So that is it, you guys. So let me know if you guys have been either restricting yourself on buying new stuff because, you know, it's a hard time for everyone financially right now, or has makeup been your saving grace like me and been trying new products a lot. But I kind of want to slow down right now because we don't really know where those benefits are going to go. So let me know if you guys have been buying new makeup or not. Let me know. So I love you guys. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media. Bye.